Okay, January the 29th on the Compete program, starting today's session with some barbell cycling work, looking at power clean into push jerk. You're going to go 1 rep every 10 seconds for 6 reps, rest 60 seconds for 5 sets. So it's a very typical session that we've done quite a few times before. So obviously the way that it works, rather than just doing 6 reps as fast as you can on the minute, you have, yes, 6 reps in a minute, but you have to pace them out equally. Going every 10 seconds, and it's just good to learn some good barbell pacing. Trying to find a weight that's pretty challenging. Your target weight is 70% of your max power clean push jerk for all sets, but try and think about it as, so you probably won't have this as a benchmark already, but like the max power clean push jerk you will be able to do where you can power clean and go directly into the push jerk. So it might be sort of 10 kilos off what your actual max power clean and push jerk is, because what we're looking for is that nice, smooth, efficient barbell cycling onto the shoulders and then directly up overhead. So this is more looking at improving technique under some decently heavy load than it is about really challenging max loads. The squat volume session today, we have a progression on these the 2 sessions we've done already. So now you're going to go every 2 minutes for 4 sets, 12 front squats taken from the floor. So by now you should know your weights. If you've done at least one or ideally both of the last 2 of these progressions where we did 5 reps and then we did 8 reps, then you're using the same weight today. If you were able to get through those sets of 8, then you're going to do the same weight for the 12s. If you feel like during the 8 you under sort of or overscaled it and you went too light, then make sure you're really challenging yourself so these sets of 12 are heavy. But just, I answered this question last week for a couple of people. The idea is that you're practicing moving at a very high speed without going into no reps. So you're trying to take as little time as possible at the top position of every squat and just moving down into the next rep. So I don't mind if the actual squat itself slows down because you get tired. But what I don't want to see you doing is having 3-4 seconds at the top of each rep. Okay, if you're in that position, then you need to take off a little bit of load and practice just as soon as you hit extension, then you're right back down into the next rep and practicing pushing the pace at these weights. And then the Metcon today is so we've got 3 rounds of calories row into bench press. You're going to rest 3 minutes into 3 rounds of calories row into muscle up. So we've got obviously different variations with so for elite and RX where the amount of reps is going down. And then intermediate you have ring muscle up EMOM first going into the rowing and the bench. But for the elite and RX version, the time caps are really tight to force you to push the pace and to pick an appropriate scaling. So if we look at that RX version, you need to be able to get those 30 calories of rowing and the 12 bench press, 3 rounds in 7 minutes. So just over 2 minutes a round, which means you need to be rowing in about 90 seconds, a very quick transition, and then into either unbroken or you will have time for 1 quick break on the bench press. That's obviously going to fatigue you a lot. And then going into that muscle up one, we're just now looking at how can you get through those sets of muscle ups under so much fatigue. So that one there is probably easing off the rowing pace a little bit and trying to go ideally unbroken on the muscle ups, or again with 1 quick break, and see if you can finish those 3 rounds in under the 7 minute cap.